Hello. Namaste. I'm Allison Miller. Thanks for being here today. Welcome to Spiritual Wellness. So every Tuesday at 10 a.m. I try to bring you a new video that's all about helping you connect with your inner home, your inner light. All about reminding you that when you nurture yourself and take care of your body and soul, you're a more whole, more happy, more vibrant person for those of you around you. So today's practice, we're going to work with heat, right? It's kind of one of the hottest summers on record, I believe I just saw. So we're going to really open up the side body. That's an Ayurvedic principle that in the summertime, we want to really do more lateral, kind of side body opening to sort of release heat from the abdomen, from the belly. So we'll work a little bit with that, and also wanted to share a quote with you. So when we look at releasing heat from the body, I want you to look at that as literal heat, actually feeling cooler, but also emotional heat. So think about releasing physical anger, aggression, any sort of pitta type tendencies that we might be finding right now. It's a matter of releasing physical heat, but also mental heat and aggression. And I wanted to read this quote from the Bhagavad Gita just about anger, just to help center us. So just a couple other kind of opening things, I guess, would be grab a couple of yoga blocks and maybe a blanket or an extra yoga mat. We're just going to have something coming off of the side of your mat for one pose that we're going to do. You can probably do it with or without this extra thing coming off the side, but if you have a blanket or an extra yoga mat, you might kind of make a T across with your mat and your blanket. And then go ahead and take a comfortable seat after you grab your props. And we'll take a moment to get centered, and then I'll kind of read our quote from the Bhagavad Gita. So starting to find breath. Just beginning comfortable seat. Starting to notice the breath in through the nose and out. You might start to find that the breath would be a little bit slower, a little bit smoother, a little bit more subtle. We'd like to kind of start to bring those qualities into the breath today. Now, if you're arriving at this practice with a lot of this kind of heat in the body, mental or physical, you can even do a cooling breath. So you can either curl up the tongue and kind of sip in through the curled tongue and out just normally through the mouth or the nose. The other option, I know some people can't curl their tongue, so the other option is to inhale through your teeth and just exhale normally out the nose. So you're welcome to do one of those if you're really dealing with some excess heat today. If you're feeling pretty good heat-wise, just try to strive for that balance, that smoothness, that subtleness. All right, as you're working with the breath, I'll read this quote. And this is in chapter 5 of the Bhagavad Gita. Pleasures conceived in the world of the senses have a beginning and an end and give birth to misery. The wise do not look for happiness in them, but those who overcome the impulses of lust and anger which arise in the body are made whole and live in joy. They find their joy, their rest, and their light completely within themselves. So that is sort of what we are seeking today, is to find a release, perhaps, of some of those negative emotions that we might be finding, and then cultivating their opposite. All right, we're just going to start to move a little bit now. You can keep focus and awareness on breath. Hands right near the knees. We can start to circle around the hips, shoulders circling around the hips. And you can kind of bring the heart forward and round the spine a bit. And just a reminder with any movement practice to listen to your body. Don't necessarily go ahead and change direction of your circles here. Don't feel like you have to do every pose in this practice. It's actually a sign of a very advanced yogi to know their limits and choose not to practice things that might be harmful. So honor thy body. All right, a couple more circles for the hips. And then take the arms out here, make sort of almost like wings. We're gonna have the palms facing forward. And inhale, open the heart more. When you exhale, round the spine and bring the arms together. Inhale, open up. And you can kind of start to get going a little bit more here. Keep it tied to breath, but maybe you go a little faster or slower. Maybe you want real slow kind of opening up the wings today, or maybe you want to speed it up. But find some fluid movement here. So sometimes when we're dealing with a lot of this anger and heat, we're really getting rigid. We're very wanting things to be just a certain way. So kind of connecting with fluidity, letting the body flow. All right, open the arms out this time. Exhale, hands to heart. Just take a moment to pause, connect with that heart space. Let's come around to all fours today. And here's where you might use the extra blanket or the yoga mat. I'm still in my screen here. You go. Okay. So I'm going to kind of go off of the side of my mat today. And just because we're going to do something in a moment. And have your yoga blocks ready here too. So kind of facing out the short edge of your mat here, or out the long edge rather, I guess. And we'll do a little Chakravakasana. So as you inhale, you're just going to come to a tabletop. And as you exhale, take the hips toward the heels and the forearms toward the floor. Now a couple more times here, just move with your breath. We're going to inhale back up to tabletop. And as you exhale, just a nice slow descent. Don't have to go all the way back to child's. You can. Let's just do one more time. Come on back to child's pose. Take a moment just to land in child's pose. Have the knees as wide as you like here. Big toes can touch. Bringing the knees a little close together can be good for the digestion. Knees a little farther apart might feel better for your low back. All right, take your hands both over to the right and just take a couple breaths here into the left side body. So I was kind of nodding to this notion of venting. And so in venting the body, we want to just really breathe into the side body we're opening. In this case, the left side body. Just really inhale, lengthening. And the exhale, softening the left side body. All right, walk the hands back through center. And then you can take them over to the left. And now breathing into the right side body. All the way from the right hip here up into the right underarm, maybe even the outside edge of the arm. You're feeling a nice stretch. And breathing into the side body. All right, as you inhale, go ahead and come back to center. Take an exhale breath. And then we're going to come up onto your knees. And if your knees feel at all sensitive doing this, definitely do make sure there's plenty of cushion under them. And again, always just omit poses if they're not working for you. So what we're going to do as we come up here, actually let's come back to hands and knees. I'm going to have us take our right foot out first. So hands and knees, take your right foot out to the right side here and see if you can kind of ground into the outer edge of the right foot. And then you can walk the hands up and come up onto the knee. And here's where a yoga block or two could be helpful. If you know you like to use them, you might put one kind of on the inside here of the right leg and maybe one over by the left fingertips. We're going to start with the side plank, modified side plank. So take the left hand down. We've got the left knee kind of down as well. Right hand is up, right leg is long. And now open out the right side body. Really take the right arm long overhead and breathe into it. And we want to find, maybe about 3 nice stable breaths in each of these poses that we're going to move through. And see if you can calm and smooth the breath. All right, on your in-breath, come on up. And then we're going to take gate pose. So you can take right hand over to the right thigh. You can place it on the block. Take the left hand up. And then open the left side body now. Go ahead and take a breath in and out. Take about 3 steady breaths here, opening the left side body. And always, if you have any shoulder issues and things, your arm can be lower, that's fine. All right, inhale, kind of going back. Center, place the hands down. We'll bring the right leg in. And we'll take the left leg out. You can adjust your blocks if you're using them. Blocks are always optional. I like you to feel like empowered to use them though, of course. So left foot is going to kind of ground down here. And let's take the side plank first. I'm going to take the right hand down to a block or the floor. And take the left arm up and over and really breathe here into the left side body. Kind of rainbow even the side body open. That top arm could rest at the low back or stay straight up if that feels a little better for the neck. Let's take one more nice steady breath here. All right, on your inhale, come up. Just going to switch here, so the block over to your left, or you can have the hand on the outer thigh and then take the right arm up. Breathe into the right outer side body here. And of course, part of balancing this heat, this aggression physical within that we might be feeling in the heat of summertime. Go ahead and come back to center. And just come to all fours. Part of balancing, we want to balance with opposites. So if we're feeling a lot of heat, we want to balance with that opposite kind of cooling quality. And we're finding that today through breath and movement. Go ahead and come around now. We're actually just going to come up to sit standing. So you can slide the blanket aside at this point. And come up to standing. We're going to do just probably one, kind of 2 standing poses. Trying to make this practice a little quicker for you today, but still get that good benefit. So go ahead, let's take right arm up first. And feet are a little bit wider than hip width. When you inhale, you're going to take the right arm, take it long, open up the right side body. And when you exhale, bring the right arm back to this kind of goalpost position. And the left arm's just kind of sliding along the left thigh. Inhale, right arm stretches. You could maybe just kind of slightly look up. Exhale, bend the elbow. Inhale. Exhale. All right, this time we're going to hold. So right arm goes long. Make sure you leave a little space here. Just kind of try to find a little comfort in the neck. Open, breathe into the right side body. one more breath. And then exhale it down. All right, this is a good spot to pause. Notice. One of my teachers says the pause is as important as the pose. Another teacher says that yoga is not the asana, but the effect of the asana. So we need to pause and notice the effect. All right, left arm to the goalpost. As you inhale, take the arm long. As you exhale, bend the elbow back to your goalpost. A couple more times here. Inhale, lengthen, let that right hand slide down. Exhale back to center. Inhale. And exhale. All right, this time we'll hold. So go ahead and take the left arm long. Breathe into the left side body. All right, as you exhale, you can lower that arm down. And take just a couple breaths here, a little pause. All right, beautiful. Now, let's step the feet together, just about hip width. I'm going to actually turn to the side just so you get the better view. We'll do one forward bend as well. So go ahead and have your hands right at your top of your thighs, top of the back of your thighs here. And when you inhale, you're going to draw your heart forward, draw your shoulders back toward each other. We want to keep the spine long. As you exhale, just go maybe a third of the way down towards your forward fold. And then inhale, come back up. As you exhale this time, just do about a third again. Keep the spine long, don't round the back body. As you inhale, come up. And this time we can go about 2/3 of the way down as you exhale. And as exhale, soft and smooth. And you inhale, keep the spine long, press through the feet. As you exhale, make sure you're using the core, low belly, mid belly, upper belly. We're just doing 2/3 again. All right, this time maybe go a little farther than your 2/3. Inhale. Slowing down, tuning in. All right, this time go ahead and exhale, take it down. You can use blocks if you want. If the floor doesn't quite become a place for the hands, then the blocks are nice. You could always put the hands on the thighs too. Put as much bend in your knees as you need to feel comfortable. Keep the spine long. On our inhale, we're going to slightly lengthen. Try to make it a nice 5 or 6 count exhale and sink a little deeper into the forward fold. So on your inhale, just a little lift and lengthen. And exhale, forward fold. And fingertips can be down on the floor too. Let's just do 2 more breaths. All right, on your inhale, we're going to press through the feet, keep the spine long, take the arms up. Exhale, set them down at your sides, hands at your sides. Just take a full breath in here again, noticing the effect of the asana. All right. I'm ready to come around onto your back. We will be taking a brief shavasana pretty soon, so if you like props for your shavasana, you can grab those. I like to have a bolster or a blanket close by, maybe you do too. go ahead and lie down onto your yoga mat. And take the feet a little bit wider than the hips and let the knees drop in toward each other. Now we're going to add in a little bit of windshield wipering so you can kind of separate the knees, and on the next exhale let both of them fall to the right. As you inhale, bring both up. As you exhale, both fall to the left. Just do this a few times. This is just a nice way to make the back body a little bit more comfortable, release tension in the low back. So we don't always have to do a lot of movement to start to feel a shift in our energy, to start to become more present. Today we're just doing, a couple seated, couple kneeling, couple standing, couple lying down, and that's going to be our practice. Let's go ahead and bring knees to the chest, apanasana. And so knees to chest, I'm just kind of gently rocking side to side. You might want to circle the knees. You might just want to be still. I invite you to tune in on this pose and just ask the body what it is. Is it stillness? Is it movement? What do you need today? Go ahead and release the feet. I want to bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees open wide. Just going to take a few breaths here in Supta Baddha Konasana. So the knees open wide. It's going to be kind of pretty opening for the hips. If you need to slide blocks in under the outside edges of the legs here or pillows, that's fine. Please do that. Let's bring one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart. And just tuning into the inner landscape now. You might notice if there's a bit of physical or mental heat still. Maybe you arrived a little hot mentally or physically. Seeing if it's a little better. If it's still there, we still have a little practice left where we can really still work with it. All right, let's bring the knees together. Take one leg long at a time. We're going to take Shavasana now. So take a good amount of space between the feet. Arms spread a good distance from the body. I do really like a bolster under the knees and a blanket under the head if you got it. I'm going to go ahead and sit up. I just want to be able to guide through a little bit of relaxation, but please feel free to lie down and continue noticing breath here for yourself for a few moments. And you might just on your inhale feel the coolness of the breath through the nasal passages. Really focus on that. And as you exhale, notice, it might be a little bit warmer on the exhale. It's the body's heat, right? Hopefully feeling just a little cool on the inhale. Noticing any warmth in the breath through the nasal passages on the exhale. Oftentimes, Pitta season is also just marked by this kind of overworking, overachieving is kind of a Pitta quality. It's a good thing, right? It's kind of what our society values, that we're always busy, we're always doing. But of course, to balance that, to feel good, to not overheat the body, we do need to take these quiet times. So if there's any part of you that is still kind of pushing, still kind of wanting to get up and do more, remind that part of yourself that this time is going to help you find more balance and more peace and probably really be more productive in the long run. I'm going to give about another minute and a half here just for a quiet contemplation, Shavasana. Try to relax the body and the mind as best you can. From Shavasana, you can start to gently wiggle your toes. And remind you our Gita quote today: those who overcome the impulses of lust and anger which arise in the body are made whole and live in joy. They find their joy, their rest, and their light completely within themselves, overcoming the pull of the senses. Go ahead and start to roll to your right or your left side. Take your time with movement and slowly make your way to seated. I want to take just about a minute or two here for meditation, maybe about 2 minutes, with a mudra. And the mudra we're going to use today is fire. We're going to balance the element of fire in the body. So the fire mudra is to fold the ring finger in and have the index, middle, and pinky fingers extended long. So you're going to hold your ring finger down with your thumb. I'm just going to do it with my right hand. Sometimes I play around with this. You can do 2 hands. Honestly, certain mudras are only 1 hand, certain ones are 2 or 1. On these, I think it's whatever feels best. So you might try both and then try 1. Notice if there's any difference in sensation. Bringing balance to the element of fire. We all have the elements of earth, water, air, ether, and fire in the body. Today we're just going to balance the fire, but it's a nice practice to balance all of them if you can. So as you hold the mudra, just a few more moments, notice breath. Feel the sit bones into the earth. Feel the spine long. Generally, 2-ish minutes is a good recommendation on your mudras. You can go longer. As well, if you are feeling good and meditative, I want you to stay as long as you like. If you're ready to end our practice today, you can bring your hands together at your heart palms to touch. Look within, and then if you'd like, you can chant Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti with me. We'll begin here with an inhale. Do your Om on your exhale. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much. for being here today. Peace, peace, peace. Hope you'll join me again next Tuesday. Please remember to like and subscribe. Take care.